Welcome everybody to the first game of the Olympic monthly tournament here for Overwatch. I'm Shadeslayer. Joining me is Captain Arya. Arya, what's up, man?
I'm good, man. Excited to see what this community tournament holds. People have been, gearing up for so long for proper Overwatch events, and I'm so glad Olympic is doing this. I think it gives teams a reason to stick together because we've seen a lot of shuffle in all the esports in India. That seems to be just something we do, but now I think the Overwatch community really has something to work towards.
Yeah, I think it all started with the initial GeForce Cup tournaments, and now slowly but surely we're seeing a lot more Overwatch happening here in India, and that is a really good sign, I would say.
Yeah, so this 16-team tournament, folks, is starting off with the first round. All best-of-3 matches. We've got Team Ascendancy taking on Team Thinking. And that is a quick early kill for Navu. Gets Ace Lord out of the question with the Reinhardt off the board. There's going to be a lot of damage going the way for Team Thinking.
Yeah, they decide to go with the pharmacy here, and you can just see Nabu, the amount of pressure he's just putting them. They're not even able to get onto the ramp there, and looks like, yeah, they're going to go in for the big loop around instead.
Yep, I mean, what you got, Team Ascendancy is one of the strongest, if not the strongest teams, but this is a real important event for them. They really have to prove their dominance here. Team Thinking, on the other hand, they really need to pull out something special because it's a talented bunch of players they're going up against. Lots of individual talent. Beautiful rocket barrage from Nabu takes out only the Lucio, though. Reinhardt doing his job keeping the damage off the bay with the trades coming in, but Team Ascendancy comes out on top for a 3. Make that a 4 for 1. And Archanger with a single res on Nightmare 2K just to make sure the pressure is up and they can get that extra bit of resistance on the point while the Mercy just casually recharges her revive once again.
Yeah, that was a beautiful sticky bomb coming in there from the Tracer as well. Manages to sticky up the Roadhog and manages to take 2 players down. And Ascendancy looks like they're pretty much just stomping over Team Thinking here.
I mean, they're just establishing their dominance. Great bump off the map there by Nightmare 2K's Winston as Team Thinking. They're in a bit of trouble as Ascendancy is playing very aggressive. Soldier, only person on site now, but doesn't manage to find him. As Team Thinking, they really can't find any rhythm here to their attack. They're going in one by one, getting dispersed. And the Graviton Surge pretty much wasted there, but that is a triple kill that comes out of it. Can Ascendancy hold on? It is a 3-on-3 matchup right now. The Winston going in behind, trying to target the Ana. The Nano Boosted Soldier is in the picture, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to manage that 3 kills there for Team Thinking. As against the run of play, they're going to take the point here. And this is beautiful stuff coming out from the underdogs in this match as the Ascendancy just got a woke-up call from the Minnows Team Thinking.
Yeah, they did manage to get that Graviton into the Tackwiser, but regardless, they managed to win the fight there. Take back control, and we do see the
beautiful
sound barriers coming out.
Sound barrier coming in, countered by another sound barrier. Now with the sound barrier, but now with the rocket barrage, but beautiful Reinhardt shield there. Archangel once again with the res onto Nabu, but can that make a difference? They've got the 3 kills. And Ascendancy once again in control of the point. They are contesting it right now, but it still belongs to Team Thinking as the Zarya gets taken down and the contest ends. Ascendancy are back in control. The Reinhardt is alone on the site, gets taken down. Frost Hearts, McCree also falls to Tracer as Ascendancy are once again in control, which is 5% left. It looks like this first matchup is going to go that way. Lucio does get onto the point, but he's going to pretty much be melted down in just a few seconds.
Yeah, there is the Earth Shatter
Ascendancy getting it.
Yeah, there was the Earth Shatter available, and they managed to get onto the point there, but the Earth Shatter gets absolutely. And yeah, Reyes comes out with the sticky bomb, manages to bring down the Genji, and yeah, I think that is pretty much
surge is there, but there's really no damage to follow up. Reinhardt just swinging away on his own, and there's only so much he can do with that hammer against the whole team. As Team Ascendancy, despite that initial scare in the middle,
Score.
yeah, despite that small blip in the plan for Team Ascendancy, I think they pretty much had this in the bag from the start. And
and it is a best of 5, mind you, so it's still not done. Best of 3s, you'd think the battle is half won, but there's still a long way to go.
Yeah, that on best of threes, there is very little room for error. That one single point and you're pretty much already on map point. So best of fives, you can pretty much go ahead and completely reset moving forward. Hope that is the case with Team
yeah, let's see how the time both teams are lining up. We've got Playerz on the Diva, we've got Ryder on the Lucio, Nightmare 2K on the Winston, once again Archangel on the Zenyatta, Rez on the Tracer going to look for the flanks, and Nabu going in aggressive with the Genji, Syndrome's on the McCree, Soj King on the Soldier, Anna Sparky Cute cross charts with the Diva, Calderon with the Lucio, and Aesop with the Reinhardt. The initial fights are pretty even as Ascendancy quickly manages a double kill to get the advantage as Playerz takes down the Reinhardt as well. That exposes the whole team of Team Thinking, but Syndrome returns the favor with the pick off to Archangel's Zenyatta there.
Yeah, I think that was a beautiful play coming in from Nabu at the start. There were 3 players pretty much giving him the chase, and he managed to stay alive so long to buy enough time for the rest of his teammates to isolate and pick them out.
Yeah, but Syndrome's doing extremely well with this McCree. I think he's going to be an important player for his team right now, dealing a lot of damage, picking off the squishy heroes. Oh, and that is the Dragon Blade coming out. Beautiful sleep dart there as Team Thinking takes him down. The Diva mech is also down. Baby Diva is going to be taken down, or at least forced off the side, as Team Ascendancy out on the back foot here. Team Thinking doing extremely well to win that initial exchange. It lasted a while with the contest, but they do finally have control, and now Ascendancy, they're going to look to regroup and work out a way around this. They've got the Tactical Visor Nano Boost and the High Noon ready on Team Thinking, but Ascendancy on the other hand, they've got the Pulse Bomb, they've got the Transcendence, they've got the Primal Rage. The Winston already jumps in with the Nano Boost. In place to try and counter, but Ascendancy picking things off. Syndrome's High Noon's out of the way, but that's a great double kill coming off the Tactical Visor and Nano Boost there. Cross shots with a kill on to Player's mech as well.
Yeah, that was really well done there. They managed to get the pickoffs, but yeah, Playerz.
These guys, Ascendancy, they're finding it a bit hard. Team Thinking, they've really, figured out at least their own groove and have performed much better in the initial part of the second point than they did last time around. We saw glimpses of their potential, but now they're really coming together.
Yeah, I think it all started with that sleep dart onto Nabu as well. Kind of lift them up, get them the confidence, and now they're putting on a much better show. But as I say that, Nabu's going to get 2 quick kills with the Dragon Blade. Finally does get taken down, but yeah, that is about 4 players down on the side of Thinking. And
yep, Team Thinking, they are on the back foot. He didn't want to waste the High Noon there, Syndrome. Good thinking on that by Team Thinking.
Fun totally intended, but yeah, it is.
But they do have a bit of an advantage now. Team Thinking, they're gonna have to work in. There's only the Transcendence available on Archangel. Should be able to hold off at least one push and maybe bait out some of the ultimates from Team Thinking sides. As Ascendancy, they're nicely spread out over the side. They've got the one person on the side. The Nano Boost coming in, if I'm not mistaken. The Winston trying to get back. The Transcendent does come out as Nabu finds the pick onto Syndrome. That is one of the biggest threats for Team Thinking down. Reyes finds Diana as well, and now Team Thinking are all over the place. Soj King with a kill onto Archangel Zenyatta. Is that going to be enough?
Yeah, the rage comes out from the Winston, but he's getting absolutely nothing done here. He's completely cornered up. He does get a shield and might be able to make it out of here, as we do see the self-destruct coming out as well from Playerz.
He does find Ace Lord somehow. He had enough time to get out of the way, but not wasted in the end. The ultimate there by the Diva.
Yeah, and there's another Dragon Blade already up on Nabu, 82% now, and does look like they're gonna have their ultimates up, at least a couple of them for this next upcoming fight.
Oh, beautiful bubble shield drop there, completely cancelling out Syndrome's High Noon. That, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the reasons why Nightmare 2K is one of the best, if not the best players in India. Beautiful play, great thinking coming out, as whatever momentum Team Thinking had going into this matchup, they were completely shut down as Ascendancy establishing their dominance and really showing why they're considered one of the best teams in India.
Yeah, very easily, man. They did look really shaky there at the start from Ascendancy, not being able to get onto the point, but once they did have control, there was absolutely no looking back.
Yep. Beautiful stuff there by the team.
Yeah, 2-0 now, and this is a single elimination bracket, so it's going to be team thinking now, fighting for their survival in this tournament.
Yeah, now it's do or die for them. They cannot afford to slip up. They're down 2 maps in this, 2 points in this best of 3 KOTH. So they gotta bring that A game if they want any hopes of surviving, folks.
Yeah, but the thing is, we have seen glimmers of those plays coming in from team thinking, but they need to do that on pretty much very frequently to even take a single map of Ascendancy, who I would say are one of the favorites to take this tournament today.
Yeah, they are the favorites in the tournament, but like I said, this is an important tournament for them to prove why they're one of the best and favorites. Because there's never really been any tournament that played teams against teams. Once again, team thinking off to a great start. The point hasn't even unlocked yet, unfortunately for them, but they will be in a good position to take early control. And we saw this last time as well. It depends on whether they can, take advantage of their beautiful aggression coming in from A-Storm and Crosshearts, getting the double kick. They're really taking the fight to Team Ascendancy this time around, folks. They don't want to leave anything to chance. They're probably hurting after that last point. They did extremely well, but Team Ascendancy have that ability to step it up to, a 6th gear, which we haven't seen from Team Thinking yet.
Yeah, and at the moment, we do see the beams coming in, but the flags not connecting.
I think Team Ascendancy, I know, they're either taking it a little easy because they're up 2-0, or they're finding it hard to cope up because Team Thinking, I've completely shut them down so far in this matchup with 40% on the board, and Team Ascendancy haven't really, made a dent.
Yeah, this is very reminiscent of what happened in the previous round as well, where we saw them get off to a hot start.
Yeah, we shouldn't be too quick to judge.
Yeah, Ascendancy is so much of a momentum.
We got the burst in coming again. Nightmare 2K goes in aggressive, drops the bubble, gives his team time, and that's a great kill on to Soch King Soldier. That's a lot of damage taken out of the equation. That's a 2-for-2 trade coming out. The defensive sound barrier coming in from Team Thinking, as once again they are in control. They have the numbers advantage, but Team Ascendancy quickly getting the point. But Team Thinking are fast to respond and don't let too much time pass, with only 6% on the board for Team Ascendancy right now. Team Thinking, they are on that A game, but one slip up is all Team Ascendancy needs to get the advantage. Nightmare 2K's initiations with that Winston has been perfect so far, just cutting the damages off from his team. High Noon being deployed, unfortunately no kills there. Archangel with the Transcendence, giving his team that ability to fight there. Nightmare 2K finds the kill on to Crosshearts, and Syndrome takes on Archangel, but Nabu finds the Soldier as well, and this is not looking good for Team Thinking. They are at 95%, 97, 98, 99. They're going to be 1% away from victory, so they can in fact afford to lose this team fight, which they do after the wipe. But Team Ascendancy, they do have control, but one team fight loss will mean they will lose this point at 99%.
Yeah, we did see the Soldier pull out the Tackwiser, Nabu able to bring him down right away, and it was unfortunate there. Syndrome did have his Graviton available, but he gets taken down just before he could blow it, but that's an ultimate available here now.
Beautiful hook there from Piercer onto Diana, taking all those ranged heals out of the equation there, and Team Ascendancy has been good at this. Ascendancy has been doing a great job of isolating the Team Thinking players, getting the supports off, cutting the damage off, getting those random picks that really hurt the initiation ability. The grab down surge coming in, only Nightmare 2K gets caught, he gets taken down, as that is a 2-for-1 trade coming out for Team Thinking. Make that a 3-for-1, as they are in prime position to take this point. They just have to capture it. It is 99%, folks. The capture is coming in. The Nabu Dragon Blade coming in, he gets knocked out. He is taking a lot of damage. He is contesting. He just needs to buy his teammates enough time to get in. He gets taken down, but beautiful jump in there by Nightmare 2K. He's been doing that all game. Dragon Blade dropped out. Lucio's also in the equation with him. Oh my god, this is going crazy, ladies and gentlemen. 2 kills coming up for Team Ascendancy. They are seconds away from losing, hanging on for dear life here as Team Thinking. They need to come up with something special here. The sound barrier being used there by Lucio to try and keep them in the game. He is alone on site. Finally gets taken down. as the contest ends. 82% on the board from 6 for Team Ascendancy, ladies and gentlemen. Is this another royal collapse for Team Thinking? They have done so well. It is going to be heartbreaking. 91%. The hook coming in again. That is a beautiful triple kill coming in by Team Ascendancy. Team Thinking are in real trouble. The Winston jumping in. There are 2 people on the side, but is it going to be enough, folks?
Holy hell, what a play. What a play coming in from Ascendancy there. Perfect ultimate usage. You saw them hang on to their ultimates. They get the pickoffs, and when the push comes to shove, they use their ultimates, buy the time, and a quick 3-0. That is pretty much just... I think that is
great stuff.
I think that pretty much shows what the stuff champions are made of. Their backs against the wall. They absolutely never give up. They played that perfectly.
This pulse bomb was actually... You could probably single this out as why they didn't lose that point in the end, because Team Thinking had a lot of momentum going in. They just needed to win that one fight, but this final push was shut down so hard after the pick by the Roadhog, and then this pulse bomb. Beautiful stuff there from Team Ascendancy. They knew their roles. They knew if they cut off the supports from the attackers and got that first pick off in every single engagement, it would throw Team Thinking off, and that is exactly what they did. They started off the third point a little shaky, probably because they were 2-0 up and trying something new, you know, just having a bit of individual fun, but in the end they pulled together and shut down Team Thinking, who unfortunately will be going out of the tournament now.
It is actually a best of 3, so that is just
yeah. Whoops. They are down 1-0 in this best of 3.
Yeah. So okay.
So I think we're in for a 5-minute break.
Yeah. I think it should be break time here for the moment, but I think they're pretty much deciding on who's attack or defense. I'm not sure if we're gonna have to do a toss for this, but yeah, don't go anywhere, folks. We will be back with map number 2. Stay tuned. Alright folks, welcome to map 2 of this best of 3 round of 16 game here in the Olympic Overwatch monthly tournament. I'm Shadeslayer, joining me is Arya. We just saw Team Ascendancy take the first map pretty convincingly. Any thoughts on the map, Arya?
I mean, Team Ascendancy, they are a strong team, and like I said, this is a big tournament for them to prove themselves, but Team Thinking, they had, glimpses of brilliance there where Team Ascendancy really didn't have an answer to some of their plays and compositions. And it all came down to some great individual plays from Team Ascendancy to really break down that Team Thinking lineup. And now Team Thinking, they are down in this best of 3. So this is do or die for them.
Yeah, and what kind of hit do you think the momentum has taken for momentum as well as morale for, in fact,
I think more the momentum, the morale for Team Thinking has taken a huge hit because they went to 99% and then lost that final point in the previous matchup, and that's something we usually see in quick plays and regular comps, and that's pretty much the Overwatch curse there. But now they're gonna want to try and get on early onto this point. Let's see how they're lining up. We got Syndrome on the Zarya, Soaking on the Widowmaker for the early peak, Sparky Cutie on the Ana, Frost Hearts on the Roadhog, Calderon on the Lucio, and Acelord on the Reinhardt. Whereas Team Ascendancy, they've got Nabu on the Soldier, Rez on the Roadhog, Archangel on the Ana, Nightmare 2K with the Reinhardt, Ryder on the Lucio, and Piercer on the Zarya. So that's a quick move coming in. Yeah, Soldier King holding on to that Widowmaker. That's not something we see very often, but Team Thinking, they've probably got put in some good thinking there and have something to work on. Acelord goes in aggressive, takes a bit of damage on the shield, but beautiful biotech coming in from the Ana. Piercer going in aggressive, getting those charges up on his cannon as Torsha finds the kill on the Ana, but Nightmare 2K returns the favor with the kill onto the Roadhog there as Team Ascendancy, they look to get back the point, but Syndrome with the kill on Piercer's Zarya there. That's a big opening there for Team Thinking, and they need to capitalize on this as soon as possible as Calderon finds the Reinhardt, but that's a double, make that triple kill coming in from Team Ascendancy as they once again, get the numbers advantage going for them. Beautiful hook there by Frost Hearts as Team Thinking, they are on the point, they get hit by Biotech Nate, but it looks like they might just pull through and capture with the numbers advantage. Ana, the only person alive, and Archer couldn't do much. Beautiful play coming in from Team Thinking for that quick payload. As fast as you get the payload, the more the advantage going forward, because there's a lot of choke points here in Team's Road that can prove fatal for most teams.
Yeah, that was a really good play coming in at the start from Nabu. He got a couple of kills, but they managed to just steamroll through with that beautiful hook coming in from
I know,
exactly.
At that point where that Nabu got that double kill with the 3-for-1 trade for Ascendancy, I thought it was Team Thinking falling again, but they did well to jump in. Beautiful shield there by Soach King. And Graviton Surge coming, that is, ladies and gentlemen, a quad kill coming out from the Graviton Surge. Beautiful play from Team Thinking as they have finally found their rhythm and shut down Team Ascendancy for a team wipe there. Beautiful stuff from Thinking. They have finally found their, perfect composition and how to play. And Team Ascendancy now with 4.5 minutes remaining, they're almost at the point. Beautiful aggression coming in from Soach King Winston. They are just grouping up a Nightmare 2K, making him regret taking that aggressive position. And Team Ascendancy, they are on the back foot here. Nabu does find the kill on the Soach King. That's going to be a bit of a long walk from respawn, but they have the momentum, they have the advantage right now. But Ascendancy, they can slightly dampen the mood a little. The Winston isn't here yet. If they can get a kill now, that would be huge as Archangel does find Frost Hearts.
Yeah, they have a lot of ults available now. They're gonna go ahead, use the Graviton,
but the defensive sound barrier comes in as they survive that push. Nabu with only the kill onto the Ana, make that a double kill with the kill onto Syndrome Zarya, as well as Team Ascendancy. Acelord kills himself for the reset as Team Ascendancy finally found a way to shut down this push from Team Thinking. They had a few silly aggressive pushes which left them one man down, left them a little exposed with the Roadhog and Reinhardt dying one by one. Winston, my bad. And they sort of regretted, but still with 4 minutes 45 on the clock, this is a good position to be in.
Yeah, they've even managed to not use the
look at Winston going in, trying to do a lot of damage from behind. Beautiful Earth Shatter coming out, and that is a nano boosted Roadhog coming in. He misses the hook, unfortunately. He is going to try and do as much damage as possible. He doesn't have the whole hog, unfortunately. Oh, does get the push off, finally uses it. as he finds the double kill onto Playerz and Nightmare 2K. Only two people on the payload as Frostheart is trying to do as much damage. Beautiful cheat coming in from the Zarya to keep him alive. And the Winston is once again back in the party, folks, as Team Thinking completely against the run of play, or at least the trend set by the last matchup, doing extremely well and stomping down Team Ascendancy.
Yeah, they do have the Graviton Surge available now. Trying to hold on to it.
This has been huge. Reaper has been nano boosted. He doesn't use his Death Blossom.
Yeah, he's not used it just yet. He's going to take a fall there. It's going to be kills coming in for the Ana as well as the Zarya. Reyes does finally reply back with a kill, but he's just sleeping in the corner at the moment. And Nabu, who does have that Death Blossom available, is going to be coming in for that final contest.
They're a mere 1 meter away, folks, as Team Ascendancy. They're all over the place with the staggered respawn, and beautiful teamwork from Team Thinking there. Perfect pushes, perfect pickups, clearing the way for them. And now Ryder, the only one in the way right now, they need to find a solution, and they do with 3 minutes 18 seconds on the clock. Perfect offensive play coming out from Team Thinking. It could not have gone better for them.
Yeah, and I think this kind of play also, rather not this kind of play, this kind of map also suits what they were doing in the previous one. Last time around, you lose, you win a fight, you do not get so much out of it. Here, you win a fight, you're getting so much real estate, and like 3 fight wins rather, and they pretty much 3-0'd that.
One odd play coming out from Ascendancy there was, you know, Nabu with the Reaper with the Death Blossom was a little far from the action, but got nano boosted. He got stuck in the Graviton Surge. He could have possibly used it to pick off 1 or 2 players, you know, trying to do damage there, but he didn't. And I think that was possibly a waste of the nano boost for someone who's not even in position to use their ultimate. And I think that could have helped stall them further, but I don't think there was anything Team Ascendancy could have done to turn that around, because Team Thinking, they were a team with a mission there, and they did extremely well on that offensive side. But now we've seen, you know, I think this is something with all Indian esports teams and players. They're not too good on the defensive side of things. We've seen a lot of, you know, payload pushes just steamroll on the offensive side, and then they struggle on the defensive side. So we're going to see how Team Thinking are going to cope against this push from Team Ascendancy.
Yeah, I think that is very reminiscent with most of the Indian teams. I think the only team that I've actually seen put up a very, very strong defense on multiple occasions is Playerz Gaming, who I've seen, in fact, I think there was a tournament last week where they managed to hold up Volskaya .1 a couple of times. So. Yep, this is still not over, folks. The Ascendancy, we all know what they bring when it comes to the attack.
Like I said, there's a lot of individual talent there, and they can make great plays on the offensive side. And we saw that last time around. Whether that translates to this map as well, let's see. Quick push coming in with Nightmare 2K's Reinhardt leading the charge. They're already on the side, folks. As Team Thinking, they're all over the place. They find the kill on Nightmare 2K's Reinhardt. They have all been healed up really quickly. As Team Ascendancy, they get scattered. Fiercer takes the fall as well. So does Archangel. And that is a beautiful shutdown there by Team Thinking with that push.
Yeah, it's
the time to is 3:18.
Yeah, so they need to make this nice and fast here. The first attack not very successful, I would say. There was a lot of ultimate charges coming. In fact, Reyes is going to switch off the Tracer and move on to the Soldier. What do you make of that, Arya?
I mean, he wants to get those, you know, sneaky side, you know, plays with the dash in, quick kill, dash out, dash in, pulse bomb, dash out, and we saw that extremely, you know, handy in the last map. But here the team really needs to support him to create those opportunities, and I don't see Team Ascendancy doing that right now.
Yeah, and they're gonna have the Nano Blade available if they want to use this at the next fight. I think they are waiting on Nightmare 2K to get the Earth Shatter online as well. It's sitting at 90% at the moment. We should have Sound Barrier up as well real soon. And,
yes, but you know, Team Thinking, they've also got a lot of ultimates on their side prepared, and the Earth Shatter coming in with the Nano Blade, and that is going to create the opening for Team Ascendancy. Beautiful triple kill coming in, make that a quad kill from Nabu, as Ascendancy are going to take this point with ease after that push. It was just about timing and waiting for that perfect moment with the ultimates syncing up, and beautiful play from Team Ascendancy. Team Thinking, once again, they get themselves in a great position and just get caught out by a moment of brilliance from Team Ascendancy.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. A beautiful Earth Shatter followed up by the Nano Blade, and it was pretty much.
Cross Hearts onto Playerz Zarya. Creates a bit of opening for Team Thinking to do that damage. Slightly slow down this push on the payload. They're gonna wait for Zarya to get back in because she's got the Graviton Surge, they've got the Nano Boost, and I think if they can time that to perfection on this choke point, they can isolate 2 or 3 players and get another win off this team fight. Reyes does have his tactical visor ready, but Team Thinking on the other hand, they've got the Transcendence. Beautiful Earth Shatter coming in, Nightmare 2K gets taken down, but the Transcendence, the sound barriers, everything being brought out by both teams, ladies and gentlemen. The Nano Boost sort of wasted there on the Reinhardt. He does get the kill on the Nightmare 2K finally, and they do halt this Team Ascendancy push. But I personally feel there was too many ultimates wasted there by both sides.
Yeah,
but better to be safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah, and in fact, they did go ahead and use the tack visor, but Nabu finally brings out the Dragon Blade.
The Dragon Blade that gets the double kill, but Frostheart finally takes him down. I think at this point for Team Thinking, it's about slowing things down rather than stopping them here. As Team Ascendancy, they do continue their progress towards the second checkpoint. They've got 3 minutes in the bank. They're gonna get extra time as well. They are in a very good position here, and if they complete this, they are on track to be in a good advantageous position for overtime.
Yes, indeed. And Playerz.
Alright, that surge coming in, and the double kill there from Team Thinking. They stop Ascendancy right on the point, 0.79 meters, folks. But beautiful triple kill there coming in from Nabu, and Reyes helping in with the fourth. Playerz finds the Ana as Team Thinking. They were in a beautiful position, the numbers advantage and all, but they just collapsed. Beautiful play, like I said, individual plays coming out from Team Ascendancy to give them that edge over Team Thinking. They've done extremely well this matchup, but Team Ascendancy, they do have that ability to go to the next level, and it is evident right now. Reyes with the pick up on Frostheart as the Winston shield is dropped, but Team Ascendancy going in aggressive. The Earth Shatter coming in, doesn't find anyone. Triple kill coming out for Team Ascendancy as Team Thinking gets shut down there. Syndrome, the only person alive, he's not going to be able to do much. And I think both teams are going to pretty much end even in terms of time in the bank. It's going to be an interesting overtime. 318 for Team Thinking, 313 for Team Ascendancy. Both teams very evenly matched here. It's going to be an exciting sudden death overtime because Team Thinking, this is do or die for them.
Yeah, it is 318 versus 313. Absolutely nothing between these two teams, and that pretty much proves the fact both these teams, the defensive side might not be strong, but on attack they are a completely different squad. So overtime, it's again gonna pretty much just come down to who can make that one single stand, I would say.
I mean, it's going to come down to, either a slip up or a brilliant play that is going to be the difference. And the stakes are of course high because it is a single elimination tournament in this best of 3 format. Team Ascendancy already up 1-0. So Team's Thinking they cannot afford that slip up. So we've got a Junkrat coming out now for the first time in this matchup. Playerz going on to the Widowmaker as well. It's probably for just the initial pick-off. I don't think he's going to stay on that Widowmaker for too long. The rest of the lineup is pretty standard with Nabu on Genji, Reyes on the Soldier, Archangel on his Ana, Nightmare 2K on the Reinhardt, Ryder on the Lucio, with Team Thinking lining up with Syndrome still on the Zarya, Soul King experimenting with the Junkrat, Sparky Duty and the Ana once again. Frostheart's doing brilliantly with his Roadhog so far. Calderon on the Lucio and Ace Lord. He's going to be the first line of defense with that Reinhardt.
Yeah, and one more thing to note for Nabu is going to be on the Shimada brother himself. Yeah.
Oh, he's a Hanzo main now.
Yeah, and in fact, his Hanzo's very powerful. We saw in the GeForce Cup semi-final where on King's Row attack he played that Hanzo himself, and that was very strong performance.
Very versatile player, Nabu. And like I said, Ascendancy, they've got that potential for brilliant individual plays. Playerz is dealing a lot of damage from above. Ascendancy, they're getting near the site, but team thinking playing very passive. They are dropping members, but they're not giving too much space for Ascendancy to do damage. Now with the pick off onto Frost Hearts' Roadhog there, as it looks like Ascendancy are going to take up this point. Just the Junkrat and the Reinhardt left alive. Nabu using his ultimate there, doesn't find a kill unfortunately.
Yeah, but I think that was just pretty much to zone them out and ensure that they do manage to get control of the point.
Yeah, because it is overtime. Every second literally counts. They're going to be going in aggressive. That aggressive grab-down surge coming out. Beautiful quad kill there coming on Team Ascendancy. As Team thinking, they're going to lose a lot of time with that respawn. Every second, every meter is important right now. And Team thinking, that was a bit of a misplay taking that fight without the whole team there. And now they might actually live to regret it. There's a lot of distance there. Nabu going in aggressive to get the information to further delay Team Thinking's, move back to the point.
Yeah, and just look at the ultimates now on Ascendancy. They're gonna have the Earth Shatter, Nano Boost, Tack Visor, as well as the Sound Barrier. So this next fight isn't getting any easier for Team Thinking, Arya.
Yeah, Team Ascendancy, they have a very strong position. Earth Shatter into Earth Shatter, both cancelling each other. Ice Lord with the kill onto Nabu there. As Team Thinking, they do live to fight another day, shutting that offensive push down. The Graviton Surge only finding Playerz, unfortunately. They do get the kill. It is the numbers advantage for them. Nightmare 2 gets taken down with a beautiful push charge from Ace Lord, as Team Thinking finally showing up for this overtime matchup. 54 seconds on the clock, ladies and gentlemen, as Team Ascendancy, they need to regroup now. Team Thinking finally getting their act together with a beautiful counter there.
Yeah,
they were in a very disadvantageous position going into that fight, but the pickoffs were in their favor and they managed to hold it off. But it is only a temporary hold off as Team Ascendancy are lining up. Playerz getting the flank with the high ground. He is preparing for the tactical visor. The Nano Boost has come in and the tactical visor is out, ladies and gentlemen. The damage is being dished out by Reyes. He finds the kill only on Sochi so far. Make that on Diva's mech, as well as Nabu cleans up the Diva. As Syndrome finds the Lucio. Team Thinking just trying to delay as much as possible. If they can stop them before this checkpoint, it's going to be huge. 7 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, as Team Ascendancy, they're looking to push as much as possible. Nightmare 2K with the peel onto Calderon, who was delaying them. Beautiful Graviton Surge coming in. They get caught up. The whole team is dead. As Nabu's Dragons, they push Team Thinking back with the checkpoint in their favor. They are in overtime. One team fight loss and it is all over.
Yeah, they do manage to get the second checkpoint there, and now Nightmare 2K does have that Earth Shatter available as well, so that's gonna buy them.
We got a Dragon Blade on Soch King with Spark Duty with the Nano Boost as well, so this is Team Thinking with the advantage. The Dragon Blade and Nano Boost has been caught. Finds the kill onto Nabu. He's going to get another kill onto Nightmare 2K as well. As Team Thinking, they have the advantage right now. They just need to get another pick off. But Reyes appears with a double kill. The Diva mech self-destruct comes in, doesn't find anybody unfortunately. As Playerz cleans up Syndrome, Reyes finds the kill onto Soch Kings. Genji as Team Thinking with another collapse just when it mattered.
Yeah, the Genji got pretty held up there. He goes for the backlines, but little did he account for Playerz' shields to be on point. Gets absolutely nothing to show for it, and now I think Ascendancy is done just about it.
Yeah, both teams have done extremely well on offense, and while Team Thinking does have the potential to, push this all the way as well. 3 minutes 18 seconds for the full push, and I think Ascendancy had a moment of brilliance as they pushed for over a minute and a half in overtime. So I'm gonna put my money on Ascendancy. I don't think Team Thinking has what it takes to go through, but they were extremely, thorough and on point with their offense in regular time. So, maybe overtime is going to give them that extra motivation to come up with that something special to match this overtime push.
Yeah, indeed, man. 3 minutes of full 3 checkpoint push is not gonna be an easy task. Last time around, we saw them go in for a little bit of a cheese team thinking on the defensive side, Junkrat being pulled out, and it looks like it might be matched up by Team Ascendancy here. Orisa has been locked up by Reyes, but he's heading back. No, he's gonna switch back to the...
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see an Orisa play. I don't think people have quite figured out how to utilize Orisa or aren't really happy with how she fits into the comp.
Right.
So we haven't seen Orisa that much with competitive play. Even in GeForce Cup, we had a few troll Orisa picks, but nothing ever too serious.
Yeah, because
so,
closely contested match, I don't think we've actually seen an Orisa pick. It has been those games where the result is pretty much decided before even the match begins.
Yeah. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, Team Thinking, they have it all to do. They proved that they can handle Team Ascendancy with the offensive push, but didn't really come through on the defensive side. Now they need to show once again one of those brilliant pushes to stay in this tournament, folks. They are down 1-0. They've got 3 minutes to push the entire way now. Beautiful double kill coming out from Team Thinking. Make that a triple, as this is an extremely fast payload point for them. This is as well as it could have possibly gone, ladies and gentlemen, for Team Thinking. Beautiful stuff. 2 minutes 40 seconds on the clock. They have the payload firmly in their control. But as I mentioned, there are a lot of choke points in King's Row. Even losing 1 or 2 of those could be disastrous.
Yeah, that first point, I don't think they could have scripted it any better themselves. They pretty much got a flawless point there, but still a lot of work to be done with 2 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to ult utilizations and early pickoffs and team fights. You've got Nabu with the flank with the soldier trying to get the pickoff, because this delay, like, he's got 3 players occupied now while only 1 or 2 fight above in front, and that is exactly what they needed. But the pickoffs coming in from Team Thinking. Nabu's not there to back up his team. Acelot gets hit with the biotic nade, but lives to survive another day thanks to the nano boost. Deals a lot of damage as well. As Team Thinking, once again, they have the numbers advantage. They won that team fight. Nabu is gonna hightail it out of there. He doesn't want to get staggered. He doesn't want to give more ultimate charges. Good thinking. There wasn't any reset points either. So Team Thinking with 1 minute and 38. They're in a strong position, because if you remember, by the time Team Ascendancy got to this point, they were already on overtime.
Right. Yeah, I think they're already doing much better.
Surge coming in, folks. Beautiful play there by Team Thinking. They're going to wipe Team Ascendancy off the board. Nabu asleep on the platform above the catwalk. He's going to get taken down. He's not going to put up a fight. He wants to respawn with his team. As Team Thinking, they've got 1 minute and 10 seconds to push this. I cannot believe what I'm saying, guys. We knew Team Thinking were good on the push, and they had to come up with something special to stay in the fight. But right now, we are seeing amazing play for them. But on the other hand, Team Ascendancy, they've actually been playing a little passive. They haven't used any ultimates until now. They were waiting. The sound badge is coming in. The tactical visor from Nabu. He's going to get a few kills. Nightmare 2K and him with a double kill there. Make that a triple quad kill for Team Ascendancy as they shut down this push. 40 seconds. I think more than any point, this is probably the best place to get a wipe and, give them all that time to walk from respawn. That's going to be 15 seconds minimum to get to the point. With 25 seconds remaining, they've got the Graviton Surge and the whole hog on Team Ascendancy, who are in a good position to, hold off this push, but they've got the whole hog and oh, perfect little shadow laser gem. Can we get the early pick off there?
The Graviton into Holog.
Yeah, 2 for 2. Make that a 4 for 2 as Team Ascendancy hold off the push in style. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a heroic and valiant push by Team Thinking. But unfortunately, it is for nothing as Team Ascendancy shut them down just when it mattered. They let them have the momentum, gave them a false sense of security. Held off their ultimates until their final choke point with the maximum walk time from spawn for a perfect play.
Yeah, that was... It just came, like you mentioned, that one heroic play. And I think this pretty much came down to a team effort towards the end. Perfect ult management coming in.
I mean, it was a conscious decision on part of Team Ascendancy to hold off all those ultimates, till when it mattered in the end. They gave up all the early team fights. They said, hey, we'll do whatever we can early on, run down the clock, but in the end, They were on
Someone
point when
needs
it
to show
mattered.
how it's done.
But valiant effort from Team Thinking nonetheless.
Yeah, hats off to them, man. They put up a strong performance, especially up against the tournament favorites here in Ascendancy. They can walk away from this tournament with their heads held high, and yep,
ladies and
hopefully
gentlemen, that's a
hopefully-
2-0 win for Ascendancy now.
yeah, and they will move on to the round of 8. We will be back shortly with the next round 2 game. So stick around, folks. Should be a short break. Alright folks, welcome back. This is the second round match between Playerz eSports and Team Why Not. I'm Shadeslayer. Joining me is Captain Arya. Captain, what's up?
Welcome to Nepal.
Try not to get yourselves killed out there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 1. Capture the objective.
I'm with you.
Let's get you healed up.
Yeah, and
I'm taking care of
yeah, I think in the previous tournaments that we've seen, the Overwatch ones, Ascendancy and Playerz have by far pretty easily been the top two teams. But now I see that talent is pretty much spread over the team here, and we might see those spots being much more hotly contested.
Heal up here.
I claim this objective.
Better with age.
Touch me.
Behind you. I'm just getting started.
Where does it hurt?
Yeah, this team has gone through quite a few iterations of name changes. Started off as mini meals, and over time they got sponsored by Playerz, and now the Playerz Gaming.
Rest in peace.
The objective is on.
Yeah.
Clearing the area.
Barrage ready.
I'm ready to power up. Damn it.
Justice reigns from above. Hostiles eliminated.
I am taking the objective. Reinforce this position.
My ultimate is ready.
Damn it.
Yeah, and those Helix rockets catches Rats in the face. No Dragon Blade coming in here. Both Rats as well as just go down with their ultimates online, and it does look like
Everyone heal up.
Keep out of my way.
I'm not a young man anymore.
yeah, and there we see the Nano Visor coming out, immediately replied to by DJ Destiny with that whole hog, and does manage to put a dink in the plans for Why Not. Just coming in with the deflect, not going to be able to land that dash onto the
Get back. Justice reigns from above.
Much obliged.
First round, 1.
Yep, it is 1-0 here, and well played team. Why not? They did a perfect. Is why not? Who won that, right? No, perfectly put. But yeah, they've been putting up a strong performance there, and judged as well as Rats a couple of times getting caught out with their ultimates on ended up being the differentiating factor there, Captain. Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Capture the objective.
Excuse me contact.
Enemy contact.
Now hold on.
Let's see.
Much better.
Not clear.
Yeah, time to heal up.
No, join me.
Yeah, and from what I heard from one of my friends before the match began, that both these teams actually scrimmed very recently, and Why Not came ahead on top, and looks like they've been able to pretty much continue that momentum into this official as well. And 91% now on 92% on Spartacus. As I think we've lost Arya at the moment. Oh, okay. Okay, I'll let me just go ahead and see if I can quickly fix that. It has been Discord has been acting very weird with frequent disconnects.
It ain't my time.
Join me.
It's high noon.
Let's attack the objective.
I've got you in my sights. I'm feeling stuck.
Round 2 lost. Score 0-2.
Pardon me.
Diva reporting in.
Three, two, 1. Round 3. Capture the objective.
You're covered. Now that's more like it.
Everyone heal up.
The objective is now.
Enemy contact.
Hit me!
I am blocking this objective.
Side here. Move back.
Speed boost. Speed boost.
Where does it go? Clearing the area.
I'm claiming this objective.
Огонь по готовности!
Justice reigns from above. I am on fire.
Enemy contact.
Get back.
It's only physics. Everyone, heal up. That's better. Get over here, heal.
I am taking the objective. Reinforce these positions. You're covered. Огонь по готовности.
My ultimate's almost ready. I'm feeling angry.
Go, everyone. On the objective. Огонь по готовности. Quadruple kill. Feel the gravity.
Sterben nicht.
Get ready.
Pump up the volume.
I'm taking the objective. Let's knock him back.
Enemy contact. Powered up.
Double kill. Victory. Play of the match.
Heroes never die. For a price.
I'm feeling unstoppable.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. What is up, guys? Hopefully I'm back and audible once again, as Playerz eSports, they have a mountain to climb after being shut down by Team Wineout in that first control point.
Clearing the area.
I'm feeling young again.
I always dreamed of the day we would be together.
Want a better life for you.
Yeah.
All I ever
So this time Playerz eSports, they have chosen to attack first. And they're lining up with Judged on the Diva, Rats on the Zenyatta, Spartacus on the Roadhog, Water on the Soldier, DJ Destiny on his Reinhardt, and Hotshot Kid on the Ana. Whereas on the defensive side, we have got Silk on the Soldier, Spoiled Panda on the Zarya, Neutron Star on his Pharah. That was deadly in that first matchup. And Zypher, his Pocket Mercy, Truth on the Ana, and Alias on the Winston.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Attack commencing. Capture objective.
Yeah, I haven't actually seen him on Diva too often. If I'm not mistaken, Judged is the Satan Mercy we have come to know over GeForce Cup seasons. So quick push onto site there by, or at least near site by Playerz eSports. They have made it to the balcony, so they've got that high ground advantage. They're going to be trying to deal as much damage as possible. Beautiful rocket there by Pharah, splitting them up. Rats finds the kill onto Silk. My audio is dead again, so you have to solo cast again. Okay, my audio is back. It's very weird, but use solo cast just in case it drops.
These jokers on my point.
Incoming.
Pain is an excellent teacher.
Clearing the area.
I've got you in my sights.
You're powered up. Get in there. Nano boost at minute.
Into the iris.
Double Russia lost.
Heal up.
My ultimate is charging.
Neither of you are going through right now,
Is ready.
by the way. I don't know. Neither. I'm not sure why. Surprisingly, I'm the only one that can hear.
Not good. Charging up.
And yeah, it was. Just invite me to lobby. I'll just cast. Maybe tag.
Огонь по готовности.
Yes, please. I'll message you my B-tag. You can have up to like 8.
30 seconds remaining.
Okay. Okay. I'm not sure, but apparently I'm like the only one that could be heard for some reason.
Seconds remaining. Not have time to
Got you in my sight.
Here, invite me real quick, and then you can just like stream it for now until you fix it. It is only 2? That sucks. That sucks. I mean, if I cast right now, it's gonna be so delayed.
Round 1 complete. Score.
We'll let this first happen,
0.
and then you can
Switching
invite me.
sides.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. So, just remember that Rat's team's defending. Take it back to lobby. Take it back to lobby, and just remember that Rat's team is defending. The point for Hollywood, but yeah, restart the lobby for this. Escape, show lobby, back to lobby.
Welcome to Hollywood.